The Boston Bruins are quietly positioning themselves as one of the more intriguing teams to watch as the trade market heats up. Even if nothing happens before the roster freeze in early February, there is a strong sense around the league that Boston is far from finished making moves. The real question is not whether the Bruins will act, but who could be the odd man out. Much of that decision comes down to contract status, and that is where one name continues to surface. League insider Chris Johnston recently pointed to defenseman Andrew Peeke as a realistic trade candidate, noting that his pending unrestricted free agent status makes him a logical option if Boston decides to sell a piece. On the surface, moving Peeke might seem surprising. He is not flashy, but he has been dependable. Night after night, he handles tough defensive minutes, plays a physical style, and brings a level of reliability that coaches value. His offensive numbers are modest, but that has never been his calling card. He is the type of defenseman who does the small things well and rarely makes headlines, which is often exactly what contenders want. That steady profile is also what makes him attractive on the trade market. Teams with championship aspirations are always hunting for defensive depth, especially players who can be trusted when games tighten up. From that perspective, Peeke fits neatly into the deadline wish list of several playoff-bound clubs. Still, there is a compelling argument for Boston to take a different path. The Bruins' blue line has dealt with injuries and inconsistency throughout the season, and Peeke has been one of the stabilizing forces amid that chaos. Letting go of a dependable, right-shot defenseman in the middle of a playoff push carries obvious risk. Re-signing him could make a lot of sense. His current cap hit is manageable, and while a raise would be expected, it is unlikely to spiral into an unworkable number. A multi-year deal could provide cost certainty and keep a reliable defender in the fold during a period when Boston's defense is aging and in transition. Of course, all of that changes if the right offer appears. If a contender comes calling with multiple draft picks, or a roster player with term plus an extra asset, the conversation shifts quickly. General Manager Sweeney has never been shy about acting when value presents itself. The Bruins find themselves walking a familiar deadline tightrope. They are good enough to compete, but realistic enough to listen. Whether Andrew Peeke stays or goes will ultimately depend on how aggressive other teams are willing to be. One thing is clear. Boston is not standing still, and if a deal makes sense, they will not hesitate to make their move.